Hi, I'm Andrew. I'm a Ngarigo descendant. My family were born, my grandfather was born in 1909 at Kyandra. This is Ngarigo country that we're on. I'm doing this because as a custodian I need to show that I'm actually working to do something to make things better for our country. At the moment our country is being totally mismanaged by National Parks and Wildlife Services, being led by Atticus Fleming, the New South Wales Environment Minister, and Chris Minns, the Premier. Also now is going to be involved in it is Tanya Plibersek, the Federal Environment Minister. These people don't actually know what they're talking about. I think there's a bit of corruption going on surrounding the aerial shooting of the horses. This barbaric behaviour isn't acceptable in our country, and we're not going to tolerate it now. We didn't tolerate it in the past, and we're not going to tolerate it going forward. This is to tell the government a cease and desist has to take place, effective immediately. The mismanagement right across the board, not only with the Brumbies, is actually the high fuel loads that are on our country. This is totally unacceptable. 2019-2020 was a mega catastrophic wildfire, and all bushfires surrounding that are preventable by doing hazard reduction burns and managing the lands properly. I've been notified that all the Brumbies are going to be shot. They say that there's going to be 3,000 horses left in the Kosciuszko National Park. There's not even 3,000 horses here now to leave there. It's well below those figures. I was born in Tumbarumba in 1973, so that makes me 50 years old. I've rode these mountains most of my life. I train horses and I train Brumbies as well. I'm also a director of the Ngarigo Nation Indigenous Corporation, and I'm also the Ngarigo horseman. I'm here to tell the government that you may be thinking that you're speaking to the traditional custodians of these lands, and I want to make it quite loud and clear that Richard Swain is not a custodian of Ngarigo country. He is not Ngarigo at all. In fact, he's actually a Wiradjuri man. So for him to come up on our country and do water healing ceremonies is totally disrespectful to my people, and we frown upon that. So throughout my life, I became a New South Wales RFS volunteer firefighter, working my way up to become a crew leader in wildfire and wildfire safety, and also a deputy captain of a couple of brigades, one being Tumbarumba and the other one being Lappington in Sydney. I know what it takes to have a catastrophic wildfire, or a bushfire for that matter. I believe during a drought season when people are doing it tough with their cattle and everything, and it's costing them a fortune in feed, the national park should be opened up and let those farmers lease some of the park to see their cattle through for better times. Grazing absolutely reduces blazing, and that's a well-known fact. So after the Duns Road bushfire, I actually came up on country and had a look around to see what was going on. I seen nothing but country being decimated by fire. That could have been preventable by proper management. During that period, I actually drove out onto Long Plain and out to Coolamine, Blue Waterholes, Ngarigo, and out to Old Snowy Camp. Some of these areas were impacted by fires, but not to the devastation that we've seen out around Cabramurra, Jagungal and Happy Jacks and all those areas. The reason why these areas didn't burn was because of the grazing and the horses being there. These horses should be used as a fire preventative tool, and that's an actual fact. The government don't learn, they haven't learned, and it's been years and years of neglect. It's time that the neglect finished, and it's time that the government come forward and they spoke to the proper custodians of the land, being the Ngarigo. I also, being a Ngarigo man, do have a Brumby plan of management that's a happy medium that can be reached by everyone. However, the government choose not to come and speak with us or consultate in relations to this matter. It's a way forward for the Brumbies and the proper management. The management of the Brumbies need to be handed over to the Ngarigo people, and our lands need to be handed to us as well. I'm not going to accept this. It's total nonsense, it's barbaric, it's not antagonistic, and it's harassing and offensive. It's got to stop, and I won't stand for it any longer. If it's civil unrest that the government want, civil unrest is what they're going to get. And I'm not going to stand back and watch this continue on. Yes, they say it, the Brumby supporters allegedly threaten the national parks. I don't condone that if they do. We don't have a problem with people being on our country as long as they show respect. So, to the government, from the Premier to the Environment Minister, both state and federal, it's about time that you come and speak to the real custodians. I've invited you all to come out on country on a horse track and show you the real proof of evidence. And the only highest population of horses in the northern end of the park has always been around Ngarigo. And the reason why is national parks have always refused to manage the horse numbers there, and they've never managed it. That's gross misconduct on their behalf, and it's totally appalling at the way they are. There's dead carcasses in waterways. There's dead carcasses laying out in the open plain for everyone to see. That's not proper management, that's bullshit. That's what it is, it's plain bullshit. And if you think that I'm upset, well, you're rightfully thinking that. This can't happen in the future. RSPCA, it's about time you started standing up and coming out for what you're supposed to be doing, and that's protecting the humane safety of animals. Brumbies are nothing. Brumbies are animals. They are animals. They have a right to live. They've got a right to be on our land. No one's asked us if they could come onto our land and trespass on it and bring their firearms on here and shoot the animals. It can't go on, and it won't go on. If you want a court battle, bring it on. We'll go to an interlocutory injunction and we'll get a cease and desist against you. I don't care, Mr. Fleming, that you're a lawyer. Just bring it on. Bring it on and see what the mountain people can do. As custodians and of the country and the Australian people as a whole, I've got support behind me, and we're happy to bring it to your front door. Thank you very much.